This morning, we're learning more details about the funeral plans for the late Congresswoman Sheela Jackson Lee. She died last Friday after a brief battle with pancreatic cancer. Joining me now is Houston Mayor John Whitmire to go over the city's plans for the ceremony. Mayor Whitmire, good morning. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
We do appreciate it. Tell us more about the ceremony the city plans to host in the coming days.
Well, in discussing with my team, Congresswoman's distinguished careers, 30 years of public service. Each year I worked with her. We represented the same area: Acres Home, Pleasantville, Independent Heights, the Heights, Oak Forest. So I'm very familiar with her constituent service. Probably no one worked harder than the Congresswoman. So in trying to decide how we respect that record, what could we do that would be really special? Only one person's ever lied in state in City Hall Rotunda, Dr. Michael DeBakey, certainly a respected hero. So we approached the family and asked them, would it be met with their approval to honor her by allowing her to lie in state in City Hall Rotunda. And they appreciated it. We will do it Monday from 9 to 7. I invite all Houstonians that would like to walk through City Hall Rotunda, pay their respects, and recognize, you know, public service is a tough profession. I'm here to testify to that. It's a challenge for your family. It's you. Sheela, Congresswoman Jackson, traveled to and from Washington each week. She always wanted to be back in the district. So I thought it was appropriate to allow her that honor of lying in state in City Hall. Yeah. So that's what we're going to do. I invite people to come walk through, pay their respects. I know city employees, you know, she was on city council in the early 90s. So she's really coming back home. So I'll be there. I'm going to pray for her family, honor her. And then, of course, I've got a full day. I've got to get to Fort Bend for a service for our fallen hero, Mr. Richardson, Russell Richardson, who drowned during the storm. And then I've got to run to Austin and testify in the state hearing on Centerpoint, hold them accountable for some of their failures during the storm. So we're going to start today in a wonderful service honoring Sheela Jackson Lee by lying in state in our City Hall.
And it's quite the honor. As you mentioned, she's only the second person to receive this. For Houstonians interested in attending this service, is there anything they need to know ahead of time before going down to City Hall?
First, you got to pray that it doesn't rain. That's what we're all going to do first. No, there'll be plenty of parking. There'll be plenty of security. Obviously, I anticipate a large crowd. So I would just say, come pay your respects. You didn't have to always agree with Sheela Jackson Lee. Her style was a little unique, but you have to respect 30 years of public service, serving constituents. I really mean this when I say it. I work hard. I like my constituent service record, but Sheela just always outworked everyone. I mean, she was known for that. So I respect that, and I ask others to pay their respect for a distinguished career. Whether you agreed with her views or not, you have to acknowledge she was a true public servant.
Yeah. And I know through your decades of service, through her decades of service, it was often, you elaborated on this a little bit at the beginning of this conversation, you often worked together. And then most recently last year, you faced off against one another. Talk to us about what you treasure most and what you will miss most about Sheela Jackson Lee.
Sheela being Sheela. We just recognized her in the community. If she got the hold of the mic, do you know how many hours I've spent in my life waiting for her to get through? So yes, she got in the mayor's race, and I understood that. Quite frankly, she was kind of placed there by some of my political enemies, but I never said a negative word about Sheela. She and I really worked together on so many issues and projects representing the same community. So I attended most events that she was there. Let's see, what was the pecking order? She would speak because she's a congresswoman. Then I would speak because I was a state senator. And guess what? Then Sylvester Turner would speak because he was a state rep. So try that lineup. And anyway, we got results for the district. It was, you know, obviously North Houston, but we shared the podium.
Yeah.
Just church services. I don't have it reached in the hundreds. It was 30 years. Of she and I representing the same area. So we went to the same banquets, we went to the same school events, and quite frankly, I always considered Sheela a friend and an ally and a colleague. Then, you know, obviously I was disappointed that she got in the mayor's race, but you know, it worked out fine. I'm working real hard, and we're going to get the opportunity to honor her today and keep solving problems down here. I got a big job, and we work long hours, but right now, next Monday, we're going to focus on honoring someone that worked just as hard.
Yeah, and of course that common love that both of you share for Houston and of course our surrounding area. I want to ask you one question before I let you go, Mayor Whitmire. What do you think Sheela Jackson?
We did have different styles.
Yeah. That's
the beauty
obvious,
of life.
right? And you while having different styles, you were professional and appropriate about that. You know, you were able to go about that in a respectable way. Before I let you go, Mayor, I want to ask you if you what would Sheela Jackson Lee have to say about Vice President Kamala Harris potentially, let's just say, probably running for President of the United States? And then, of course, what do you have to say about this potential run?
Well, first, Sheela would be at the front of the line in supporting her. Would probably want to chair her committee. Whether she did or not, she'd take credit for it. But the bottom line is, Sheela was Sheela. She was going to be at the front of the line. Me, I obviously am excited about Kamala, the vice president, let me just say. I look forward to talking to her about the challenges of major cities face. And together we can solve a lot of these problems. She's been a local official, so she knows the challenges. And, you know, I look forward to meeting her. I haven't endorsed her yet because I take my endorsement so serious. She hasn't gotten a nomination yet. You know, as a Democrat, I always support the Democratic nominee. So I look forward to sitting down with her. Actually, I will be with her this afternoon. She's coming to Houston this afternoon. We're attending an event. I'm going to introduce her. So I'm going to tell her I look forward to working with her in the next 8 years. I'll be mayor if the citizens of Houston choose. And if the nation chooses, she's the president. So we're going to work together. You know, you have to collaborate to get things done. I've made a reputation at City Hall. I talk about it every day. We have to work with all levels of government, the county, the state, and certainly the federal government. So I'm excited and looking forward to establishing rapport with her. I hope she gives me her cell number. I'll certainly give her my cell number. And before you know it, we're going to be on the same team.
And with that, a timeline on any possible endorsement?
Yeah, let me tell you what I'm focused on right now. Recovery. I'm going to Austin next Monday to address the center point challenges of getting our power on in a more timely way. So right now, I'm not really focused on politics. Certainly, I pay attention to the national political picture. But right now, my total attention is on Houston, getting prepared for the next storm, getting prepared this afternoon for high water. You know, I have a nonstop job of focusing on Houston, all hands on deck. We're still in a recovery mode from Beryl. So let me focus on that. There'll always be a time down the road for politics.
Okay. Mayor Whitmire, thank you so much for your time this morning. We do appreciate it, sir.
Thank you.